on the boogie. Sunshine, moonlight, yeah, good times, boogie. You just got that sunshine, yeah, moonlight, good times, boogie.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I see everybody notice. We dose Amigos tonight. Just me and Freaky D back, y'all. Freaky Deaky back. Just got them OnlyFans for us. Yeah, we missing Rob P tonight, and I got dudes taking care of other family business. But hey, we can still get down. This is gonna be quite interesting tonight. This goes back a long time in history. Us sitting up in college debating sports. So this ain't gonna be nothing new to us. This actually, so
yeah,
get right to it.
Should have
We ain't
had.
gonna slow it up. Should be a nice, easy.
We should have been doing podcasts in college. That would have been crazy.
No, that gave up too much information back then. I don't think we wanted to be out there like that. I'm glad we didn't have cell phone use and cameras back when we was in college. No,
that might have got us.
Wouldn't work. But anyway, let's get right onto it, man. Let's get this like all. Yeah, sure what was going on back then. Couldn't do all that stuff. But what was we doing last week, my guy?
All right, so last week, even though I wasn't here, I still responsible for the recap. Talked about Fury and usage. The fight was moved back to February. And talked about UFC 295. Talked about the start of the NCAA basketball season with major losses by top teams. Top ranked LSU lost their season opener to number 20 ranked Colorado, and Michigan State lost its opener at home. Interestingly enough, in the Chrysler Center, they don't lose in the Chrysler Center to James Madison. Talked about the NHL, the Adam Johnson death. We're going to talk about that a little bit more today. Talked about equipment rule changes, neck protectors, that kind of thing. And we'll talk a little bit more about that today. Definitely more about that today. We talked about in NCAA football, kind of Stallions resigning, and we'll get a little bit more into the Michigan Harbaugh and the suspension. So, talked about what exactly should the Big 10 or the Big 16 or whatever they are now, what should they or the NCAA do about Michigan? Talked about the NFL, the Raiders coach, Antonio Pierce, and the comments by the racist New York Post columnist, Phil Mushnick. The NBA, the real purpose of the NBA Cup. Talked about, got into some gossip in talking about D Wade and Gabrielle Union calling it quits. Talked about Marcus Jordan and Larsa Pippen. Still more drama to come. Hopefully we'll be able to get
trying to call Gabby last week.
Get my sister to come on and talk about that sometime soon. Talked about the NBA, the big baller brand, the suit. Alan Foster suing the Ball family again. Back to NCAA football, about the college football playoff rankings and the formula. I wish I'd have been there for that conversation. I would have liked to join in talking about the formula that they use. And then last but not least, and we know we will get into this again today, talking about how well the 618 is doing in the high school football, Illinois high school football playoff rankings. I'm sorry, not playoff rankings, but the playoff tournament. So
playoffs.
Yeah, Titus has got
y'all.
Got me all
Before
stuffed
we
up,
get into it,
sounding all nasally.
Do us a favor.
Always subscribe. We definitely need subscriptions. So always make sure you subscribe. hopefully y'all are enjoying the content, enjoying the banter between all of us good friends. And we're gonna keep it going. And we want you to keep coming, and we're gonna keep talking, and we want you to subscribe. All right. So getting into some of these things, quick stuff. We'll get into Nash's specialty, into Geechy's specialty, and talk about Francis Ngannou.
Quick stuff. It was what episode, maybe 2 episodes ago, maybe 3, episode 26, when we talked about it when Francis from the PFL went over to fight Fury, and he went 10 rounds with him. And on that show, I said, world of boxing, they ain't ready for him. And what happened just recently? He just got ranked. They ranked him being ranked number 10. I said, look out boxing. He's finna come up and take somebody's belt. So that was one of the quick blurbs we had. Definitely from the MMA boxing side. We're definitely gonna get into some MMA later. But like I said, there's some recent shows when Francis Ngannou left the UFC. It's probably the greatest decision he could have ever made. Box, and now he's ranked number 10 in the world in heavyweights. And I give him what, maybe 2 years, 2.5. If he gets the fight, he'll probably end up winning a title before he retires. So that's my little take on Francis Ngannou, Dad.
But you know something though, I think
I got to get you to watch it.
Now see, I watch boxing. Like I said, I like to go to the UFC, to the MMA stuff. Again, always shout out to my guy Johans, my teacher. I used to love going to watch him fight, seeing some of that stuff he was teaching us in class, putting it into practice in the ring. So I actually like to go watch the octagon. But for some reason I don't know why I don't like watching it on TV. But anyway, my point about Ngannou is that the fact that how many heavyweight fights has he actually had? Do you know? Because it's interesting that he comes out and he whoops Fury and ends up being ranked number 10.
In boxing? That was his first one.
Boxing. Right. Okay, so that makes my point. That even more makes my point. Is what does that say about the state of heavyweight boxing? That this dude comes in, gets in the ring. Now again, he got in the ring with the champ. Don't get me wrong. He got in the ring with the champ, but he comes in, has one fight, and now he's already ranked in the top 10. What does that say about the state of boxing? To your point all the time about boxing, what does that say about the state of boxing? But also getting into this idea of him in 2 years, I think it might be quicker than that, Nash, because he's a big name. He came in from the UFC. He's a big name in the UFC. He comes in, he gets into the ring. He does that to the champ with Fury, and you already rank him at number 10. I think probably within 2 fights, he's gonna be fighting somebody for the heavyweight championship. If he comes in and wins impressively, and fights it, because if he fights anybody else the way he fought Fury, that's gonna be a victory. So if he comes in, he's going to end up fighting somebody, and he's not going to be fighting the number 20 and number 15. He's coming in fighting in the top 10. So if he beats 2 more top 10 fighters, he's going to be fighting for a belt. So I think it'll be quicker than 2 years if he keeps this up.
The reason it'll be perhaps 2 years, and that's one of the other problems with boxing, is that they don't schedule enough fights within enough time within all these heavyweights, because these guys are scared of each other. I mean, we just saw this with Bud having to chase down a guy for years to get that fight on. It goes on with heavyweights too. So that's one of the things you're going to see with this unification coming on. That's why I think 2 years, just like this fight, they just moved this fight back, this championship fight with Geechy to February. And going back to what you were saying about Ngannou being this fight in a state of boxing, like the ring announcer described Fury last week, or during that fight, excuse me, not last week. He's a 6'9" bag of milk. That's the state of boxing, and that's why Francis Ngannou is ranked number 10, because the champion of the world is a 6'9" bag of milk. So that's what we got on Francis Ngannou, but this
that's
is
what I
wonder,
wanted.
and I always love he wants to talk correct about these guys.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I just wonder. Just the last thing is just I wonder what that really tells us. If it really tells us more about boxing, or if it tells us about Ngannou. But anyway, so Michigan, Harbaugh gets a 3-game suspension. Was it enough? Okay, my heartfelt feeling about this is summed up by so I don't care. That's my heart. That's how I feel in my heart. In my head, okay, when I think about this with my head and not my heart, was 3 enough? Yes. I think that because I go back to Spygate, okay, and I think about Spygate, and nobody got suspended for Spygate. They got fined, but nobody got suspended for Spygate. So I think that the 3 games are fine. I think it's interesting the way that the Big Ten did it is because that's three games, including the Ohio State game. So I think that that's very interesting. But was it enough? I would say
like
yeah.
I would say head and not your heart.
It was enough. Yeah, I would say it was enough, and I might even be willing to say it might be too much. I think maybe 2 games at the most. You know, 3, okay, yeah. But I think it's fine. I don't think it should have been more than 3. I'll tell you that much. But I think that this is fine. Although, again, as I always say, muck fishing, right? But as far as this is concerned, yeah. I mean, you know, I my views about this whole thing about stealing signs and all that kind of stuff is probably a little bit different than everybody's anyway.
Hey, the reason why I got this up is interesting. You said head versus your heart, and Paul Feinstein and your boy Desmond Howard, of course, you know they got into it on the show Get Up, whatever. And of course, kind of like we're talking about, Paul Feinstein, he was speaking reality, like he said there. Jim Hall is the culprit. Stop trying to be the victim. Tell Jim to stop cheating. That's what he told Desmond to tell Jim. Here it goes. There's allegedly, Paul. Let's keep it 100. Allegedly, that's how people can, get fined, lose their jobs. But still, like you said, using your head to obvious instead of your heart, because Desmond was being a homer there.
He's being a homer,
and that's where the reality is versus the bias there. So, do I think he's been a super homer there? He was not being objective whatsoever from that. I was just like, yeah, get him, Paul. Take her up for us. So that's why I always like to bring anything Michigan that comes up and people start being a homer, get your opinion about it.
But at the same time, okay, Desmond talking about allegedly. Okay, what do they always say? If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Okay, so if you think about this, allegedly is when you've done something once, twice, maybe 3 times. You are guilty when that man has tickets to the entire football schedule. If he had tickets to a couple of games and he went to
other people to get
tickets, if he went to a couple of games, okay, yeah, that's alleged. This dude went to all of them. He went to every last one of them. No, that there's no longer any alleged in that.
Hey, get off my guy.
So it's like, come on. It's like, come on, man. Stop with that. Allegedly, please give me a break.
Yeah. Hey, Connor is my guy, man. He's a Patriot. Hey, but by the way, shout out to the Big Ten commissioner. What's his name? Vertelli or whatever. Italian. I told y'all. What? Come here, smack you. You don't tell me what to do. Get this suspension. Take that. So shout out to you, Big Ten commissioner. not bowing down to this bureaucracy that is the CFP and its likeness. Anyway, another
Tony Petitti.
Another good story. Petitti.
Yeah, Petitti.
Shout out to him. First year Big Ten, he ain't coming in getting punked. He's Italian. You think you're gonna punk an Italian? Stop. Anyway, this was another good ruling I like, Dorian. This came out. I'm loving this. So for people that don't know, this is the last year of the Pac-12. I've always said it was a soft conference anyway.
2-pack.
But there's still 2 that remained. And they got a big court ruling just recently. The WAC 12. Yeah. But Oregon State University and Washington State University, they are the rightful, I guess, I can't say owners, but the rightful proprietors. They are the true board of the soon-to-be defunct Pac-12. And the other 10, they basically mad. And the reason why they're mad because of all that TV and that revenue sharing, Dorian. So what you think about the judge's decision, and how do you think the other 10 schools are going to try to counter this?
Well, they already appealing. The judge issued a temporary, he suspended the temporary injunction to allow Washington to appeal. But it's interesting. Something's very interesting because I thought about this as I was reading the articles about this. And I said, I wonder where this case was tried and where is the judge from? Because you got WashU against Washington. All of this, the University of Washington is kind of leading the charge with this. Right? The other 9 schools are kind of following, from what I've been reading, have been kind of following Washington's lead. The judge, this case was tried about 10 miles from Pullman, Washington.
Not Dorian. Not Dorian. Not Dorian.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Not Dorian. Not Dorian. Dorian ain't smelling than fish. That's the guy, y'all.
So,
talking about me
now check
being
it
a
out.
conspiracy theory. Well, okay. Anyway, I'm sorry though. I didn't mean to cut you off. But anyway, he's 10 miles away from where?
The judge, the court where this case was tried, is 10 or 20 miles away from Pullman, Washington, where Washington State is. Now, when the University of Washington, like I said, is leading the charge, the appeals court is in Olympia, Washington, which is only about 20 miles from Seattle. So it's going to be interesting what the appeal, if the appeal is going to be successful or whatever. But that was just something that I thought about. That I was like, wait a minute, and I looked it up, and sure enough. But anyway, so he issued a preliminary injunction, right? That gives Wazoo and Oregon State essentially sole voting membership of the Pac-12, which gives them, at some point, it could give them sole ownership, proprietorship of about $420 million. So those other 10 schools are like, oh, wait a minute.
So that they
that's
can
25, that's 25 million, 30 million coming to us. So they try not to let that money go, of course. But at the same time, y'all leaving.
Pac-2 are going to need that to rebuild their new conference. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. You can't have the cake and eat the ice cream too. The Pac-2 are going to need that money to rebuild whatever they call this new conference that's going to form. So
they're going to still call it the Pac. It's still going to be the Pac something.
I'm kind of happy for both schools. It's going to be a Pac mid-major, but whenever it's formed. But that's a whole other story. But anyway,
right now it's just the Tupac.
On to our other guy, man. Standing you got DeShaun Watson. So when did he get hurt in this game? I missed the injury. I mean, they had a fantastic win, and all of a sudden now you're gonna get the surgery. I'm not worried about the surgery. I'm worried about the masseuse you're gonna have to hire.
You shouldn't worry as much
What the
as
Browns
the
gonna do
masseuse
without
should.
him, Dorian?
So you shouldn't have to worry as much as the masseuse needs to worry. But
take that job.
The report that I read said that he had actually gotten hurt like real early on in the game, and that he toughed it out for 2.5 quarters. So he got hurt like in the first quarter or something. And that basically the doctors told him essentially that if you try to play anymore, then you're risking your career. So that's why he's deciding to have the surgery. So he's not pulling, quote, what he was pulling earlier and sitting out those games when everybody is upset. He's supposedly legitimately hurt. So for the Browns, what this does is, unless DTR comes in, my namesake, right, Dorian Thompson-Robinson comes in and plays lights out, then I don't really know. I think it is a bad sign. I think DeShaun Watson was finally kind of coming along and starting to turn into the DeShaun Watson that he had been in Houston. You were starting to see flashes of that. They were getting much better. Cleveland already has a really good defense. But also at the same time, let me say that as a Bengals fan, so
So speaking of Cleveland's defense and the Bengals and Baltimore and the Steelers, it's getting real tight and bunched up over there. So, like you're saying so as a Bengals fan, I think you guys have to play them again. I play Baltimore again. So that's going to be up for grabs. I don't know who's going to win that division.
But they got to come. They got to come to the jungle.
You say
they got to come to the jungle next time. Let me see. Yeah, they got to.
With another quarterback you just mentioned, I'd rather PJ Walker. That's an interesting move. I don't understand that. We'll see how they do, but that's enough of the little quick stuff.
Putting in the rookie. You talking about putting in the rookie over PJ Walker?
Really yeah, because PJ didn't play in some tough games. They didn't tough it out, won some tough games. Now you throw this guy in. At least you have the rookie as the backup in case something happens to PJ Walker.
But if you remember, PJ Walker only came in because DTR got hurt. So DTR was already playing and playing okay, and then he got hurt, and that's when PJ Walker came in. So they probably figured they can see what the rookie got since he was playing well in the first place, and then that way if something happens to him, then we got PJ Walker. So
That's right. You got all that money that's going to be out for the rest of the season. You might as well see what the young rookie can do. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You don't lose your position to an injury, as they say.
As they say, right?
As I was just putting up there, let's get down to some nitty gritty, man. Talk about some real stuff we want to talk about. Last week, y'all remember, Freaky Deaky wasn't here to join us, Mr. Mighty Mouse. But this is always his subject, and that's the hockey. So if you guys remember last week, we talked about the vitriol that Matt Petgrave was receiving from across the pond, as they say, all the vitriol and everybody, the death threats and things like that. But it was interesting because
and the racism.
A lot of publications were basically advertising and the racism, right, which was part of our discussion last week. Man arrested for manslaughter. I mean, this man has a name. His name's Matt Petgrave. Like I said, we went through a very detailed discussion about this last week. And one of the things that Rodney had mentioned and talked about was how, nobody had came out, where it was teammates. And as I was mentioning in the Rodney last week, that there were. And as a matter of fact, one of those individuals that came out was Weston Mashad. He's right here in North Dakota, hockey or whatnot. But he had actually made this statement back on like Halloween, as you can see there, Dorian. He basically said what I've been saying all along. Dorian still hasn't watched the full video because of the scene. But when you really slow it down, like I have, slow mo, full speed, you'll see that Matt Petgrave was hip checked. And that's basically what Weston Mashad was saying here, which he put on his Twitter. And again, this was back on Halloween. And it's finally coming to light. And that's why I was mentioning to Rodney last week how this stuff was being suppressed while they were pushing the big racist card, arrest them, murder, everything. So just recently, I guess it would be like, breaking news now, Dorian? Since we've been on
like 2-3
past couple hours.
Yeah.
That about 3 hours ago now, since we've been on getting ready, that Matt Petgrave has been released on bail. But it was just like Dorian stated, the whole racist connotation behind publications in the media is just ridiculous, man. So I wish you would have been here last week for that discussion. But like I said, you've been following this too. I mean, what's your opinion on that, man?
But
Stuff. And now with him, being out on bail, what other kind of outlets?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I was confused when I first saw this particular article. I when I brought it up a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about how we were gonna follow it and that kind of thing. So I was checking up on it, and I saw that same thing that you said. The article says, I saw it in the AP. It says a man was arrested in the death of a hockey player whose neck was cut with a skate blade during a game. That was the headline from the Associated Press. And I was like, wait a minute. Did they find that somebody else was guilty of this other than Matt Petgrave?
Everywhere.
Where the headline was just really confusing. And I had to really read the article to say, okay, yeah, they are talking about Matt Petgrave. Not all of a sudden,
I thought they got a hip check. Petgrave.
Right. The way that they exactly, and the way that they made it seem was like a man was arrested. It made it seem like it was a Scooby-Doo mystery, like the dude had on a Matt Petgrave mask and then he took it off, and I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. A man arrested, that kind of thing. So I was like, what are they talking about? So I thought the fact that they didn't mention his name and said a man, I found that to be very disrespectful. But at the same time, I wonder if that has something to do with the legalities over in England about them releasing people's names after they've been arrested and so on and so forth. I wonder if that has something to do with that as well. I don't know, but I'm with you on that.
What? Have you ever seen the English Parliament?
Oh yeah, they funny.
They don't want to release somebody's name. Have you ever seen the British Parliament? They don't care about your name. You saw they was like put him in jail, hang him.
I watch them on C-SPAN for a good laugh all the time. If you want a good laugh, watch British Parliament.
Yeah, I watch it all the time, man. But no, it wasn't they. It was South York Police Detective Chief Superintendent Bex Horsfall. Say that all real fast, Dorian. How many titles does he have? I mean, how big is this town that he has 3 positions?
It was something long.
Police Detective Chief Superintendent. He got 3 jobs. So he doing the whole investigation, probably like just by himself, like you said, the Pink Panther.
Right. With his moniker.
I don't know how they do stuff over there either, but in the United States, brother, they accuse a brother of something like this, even involuntary manslaughter. Nah, we don't know who it was. So,
right. I
but,
mean,
that
right.
was something that, like I said, wish you was on her last week for. But like I said, accidents are accidents, man. Like I said, and that's why I like the fact that his teammate did come out, even though it was a while ago. It needs to be publicized more. That it was just a freak accident, and we should move away from all the racist connotation and stuff in hockey. And speaking of hockey,
Right.
I don't know, Dorian, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna stop talking about hockey. I'm gonna let you talk about hockey. I ain't gonna talk about hockey no more until Snoop Doggy Dog get that hockey team he's supposed to be getting. Whatever happened with that? Speaking of hockey, but I guess that's a whole other story. But enough of hockey, man. In this story,
I am going to have to look that up because that's an interesting story to see what happened with the sale of that to Snoop. That's something I'm gonna have to check out and find out what's going on because he was trying to buy Ottawa, the Senators, or it was either the Ottawa Senators or the Calgary Flames. It was they were trying to buy. But right now, it's funny. It's going back to
it was Ottawa. Remember, we
talked a couple of years ago where Boston is killing. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we sure did. When we talking about black ownership in sports.
So so it'd be interesting to follow up on that. With these events going on in hockey, to get another positive out of this situation.
Yeah,
because Snoop gonna have net protectors. Whatever team he got, you got to protect your net, as the song say.
Bruh, that would be a brilliant marketing
campaign. Moving on to some other stuff, man. We miss our guy.
The Wu-Tang Clan to do the theme song for the neck protectors in the NHL.
Protect your neck. Copyright.
Right. I was just going to say trademark that. Don't let nobody steal it. That's ours.
Protect your neck. Trademark.
That's ours, right?
Trademark. Snoop, you hear me? Your new uniforms, protect with the Wu-Tang selling them, protect your neck.
Right.
You heard that here first, y'all. But on to another court, man. Basketball. We talked about the NBA Cup, which Dorian, you know me, I say the NBA is a horrible product. I said this tournament was horrible. Some people have been watching it. I mean, but who's doing what? And does anybody care? But first of all, who doing what in this tourney?
Okay, I don't get it. In the sense that they all look like regular season games to me, except for the ugly courts. Man knows some ugly courts. I haven't seen one of the courts that I like yet. But I'm not really understanding how they're doing it. They all just kind of look like regular season games to me. So I'm not quite sure. But right now, it's interesting that who we talked about very early on in the season, who started off playing badly, but have now started to play pretty well and are undefeated in the in-season tournament, are the Miami Heat at 2-0. So you got the at the top of the standings for in East Group A, the Pacers are 2-0. In East Group B, the Miami Heat is 2-0. The Bucks are 1-0 right behind them. In East Group C, you and Duz's boys are in first place at 1-0, just basically a half game up on your other team, the Brooklyn Nets, who are 2-1. In West Group A,
wait,
the Lakers and the Jazz.
I got a question. I got a question for you. You said some teams are 2-0. Boston is 1-0. Haven't they played like 8 to 10 games this season? But yet they've only played like 1 and 2 games in a tournament. I don't even get the structure and the scheduling of how they're even doing the in-season cup within the season when they play 10 games, but they only played 2 games towards the cup. That's stupid.
Hence my confusion. I totally agree with you. I didn't get it. I thought they played more games. I don't get it. I didn't get it. I don't know.
Yeah,
so
you incentivize this just to get the guys to come play basketball before Christmas because everybody knows nobody watches the NBA until Christmas Day. That's just how it goes.
Right.
Holidays. It's like
Right.
Turkey and Thanksgiving, whatever. But this tournament was stupid. I don't think anybody cares because nobody understands it. And so whoever wins, the winning team just gets some money. What we've seen is,
I think so, and a trophy.
The truth to some of these greedy players that would usually be on local management this time. Yeah, that's all this is exposed. Is players that would normally be out this time of year anyway on load management. A la the next guy we should be talking about that looks like he's on load management. Oh, the time.
Hold on. We got to finish with the standings.
So we know one team doing terrible. Oh, okay. Because that's gonna go right into
let's finish with the standings, and then that's how we lead to the next. All right, so West Group A.
Run it on down.
West Group A, the Lakers and Utah are at the top of West Group A at both 2-0. West Group B, the Nuggets are 2-0, and at 1-0 in second place is guess who? The Rockets. Interestingly enough. And who is in last place at 0-2? The Clippers. And in West Group C, the Timberwolves are leading West Group C 2-0 at 2-0. My Golden State Warriors are 1-1. All right, so go back up to West Group B. Interesting that the player that we're about to talk about has connections to both of these teams. With Houston at 1-0 in second place, and then bringing up the rear at 0-2, almost the worst team in the league. Only the Memphis Grizzlies are worse at 0-3 in the tournament. Are the LA Clippers?
Real quick, go back through those. What do you call them? Brackets, the regions. How do they have them broke down?
Group. It's like group play, like soccer.
Yeah, group. Yeah, group. Yeah. Oh, group. Excuse me. And that's what I want to bring up. You brought up two other points. You said the floors. You don't like the floors, which we talked about kind of last week. And that goes back to something else you just said. The groups. You see what they're doing. They've already started with the advertisements, marketing on the jersey. They're trying to go EuroLeague style. That's what all this stuff is. It's like a European tournament inside the NBA, just to sell and market NBA stuff to, that's all this is. So you just jogged my memory when you talked about those courts, and then when you said that groups or this is next, I'm like, wait a minute, yeah, that's the EuroLeague. Mm-hmm. So that's all this NBA Cup, a la Cup. Or do you always find your cups over in Europe? If it ain't golf here, it's a cup over there. Soccer and everything else. That's all the NBA is doing. Again, we're outsourcing our sports.
Yeah. Trying to gather.
Going back to, like you said, the Clippers. But who wants to come out and see this guy? Dude, it's terrible.
Not I, says me.
I always defend my guy. I'm usually the one to defend.
The thing is, in this game, the Grizzlies they'll live with PJ Tucker being the guy having to finish plays.
The Clippers start 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. Step back 3 by Harden. Wow. Air ball. Harden, does he know the shot clock's about to expire? Oh, rejected by Bismack Biyombo. And
that's how James Harden is playing. That's why the Clippers, yeah, all that. Get that shit out of here. That's how they've been playing. The Clippers like 0-4 since the beard, James. Hey, shoot, you see, I got my stuff on, man. That's a alumni. I defend you all the time on the show, but bro, you got to get a real house, man. You can't stay at the strip club. I don't know what to say about it, but that you think they're gonna trade him from the Clippers, or who's gonna be the first one to be like, I'm out of here? It's me or him. Who's going to pull the me or him? Who's going to pull the James Harden on James Harden?
That is a really good question.
Still thinking, Dorian? Uh-oh. Kawhi?
I
Paul
think
George? Who can be like, it's me or him? I'm gone. Westbrook? You got 2 headaches.
I can see it being Westbrook, but Westbrook is not a headache. You never
Westbrook
heard
actually
about
ain't
Westbrook
headache.
being right. That's what I'm saying. You never heard about Westbrook being a headache or a bad teammate.
He's not.
Right.
You don't. He's not. He gets a bad rap.
Yeah. He competitive, but you've never heard about him being a bad teammate. I think that they would package Harden before they would get rid of anybody else. I think that they would package Harden, and I think that they would send him back to Houston where he wants to go, and get some of that young talent from Houston. I think the Clippers would do that.
Oh. So you want to send him back to the land of strip clubs where he needs to get away from? This kind of goes back to what I used to say about my guy. Like one of the teams, Ben Simmons, should have tried to get traded to or go to was Utah. I mean, he liked snow bunnies. I mean, so it would be perfect. But so you want to send James Harden to Houston? That's like sending James Harden to Atlanta. That's like sending James Harden to East St. passing through on the weekend. No, you don't want to send James Harden back to Houston. That's the problem. He needs to be away from so many other distractions. So trade him to Minnesota where it's too cold.
But see,
send him to Portland.
But see, if I'm trading for Harden right now, I'm not trying to win. I want him to come and maybe get with his star power, put some butts in the seats, or do whatever. Or I'm trying to rebuild and get rid of that big salary, or do at some particular point. But only the team that trades James Harden is trying to win, because they're trying to get
at the strip club
because they're trying to get drafted.
And to go watch James Harden shoot basketball there.
Right.
They put seats
right.
in
But that's what I'm saying.
Put seats in the stands to go. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So if I'm trading, if I'm the Clippers and I'm trading Harden, all I want is some draft picks and some of that young talent back that's really going to help me win and prepare me for the future. Because Russ, Kawhi, and PG can play together. I don't think that the 4 of them with Harden can play together, and they're going to realize that Harden is the problem. So I ship him off, get some young talent, get some draft picks, and let him go on to Houston and be Houston's problem. And you go down there and you dribble the ball for 23 seconds of the shot clock and then shoot or pass at the last second or whatever, and y'all go ahead and play that game. We trying to win with the Clippers. I think the owner of the Clippers wants to win. I'm not sure about Houston.
Why does he want to go to Houston?
You just said it.
I mean, I understand the taxes and everything, the breaks that he gets down there, but who's the coach at Houston now? That's going to allow him to sit there and dribble the ball. Like you said, seconds or whatever.
Who is the coach in Houston now? Because they got rid of.
I don't see him.
Ime Udoka is down in Houston now.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. I don't think that's an employment killer. But I mean, it would put some fans in the seats. A quarter of them gonna be strippers, but it's gonna put fans in the seats. That's all I gotta say about that.
But let me go to something about Harden. Something that actually dudes posted on his Facebook page that I wanted to read. It's from Basketball Forever. So I don't know if it's just some type of internet spot or what it is. But anyway, it says the Philadelphia 76ers are 8-1 since trading James Harden for role players, while the LA Clippers are 0-4 with Harden. This was 3 days ago. It says the 76ers have the best record in the NBA, while the Clippers are 12th in the West. Philly has already beaten the championship favorite Boston Celtics, while the Clippers have already lost to the league's worst Memphis Grizzlies. When Harden's on the court, the Clippers defense ranks last in the league. It was the same for the 76ers last season when Harden played, but this season they have a top 5 defense without him. Philly has a top 5 offense this season, while LA's 104.3 points a game since the Harden trade ranks them dead last in the NBA. And just to top it off, Harden is averaging 13.5 points and 4.3 assists per game, while Tyrese Maxey in Philly is blossoming into the superstar Harden was meant to be in Philly with the 28.6 points per game, and then he had a 50-piece the other day. So Harden for the Sixers was addition by subtraction. And so the Clippers, trying to have that star power, have now basically put themselves in a position where they're going to either lose or they're going to have to get rid of Harden, because it's obvious where the problem is.
I think I have the location to send James Harden, and it's not Houston. You send him to purgatory. You send him to Portland.
Yeah.
You lost Dame Lillard. I forgot. I don't even know who the star in Portland is right now since Dame Dollar's gone. But yeah, you send him way up to Northwest where he can be forgotten about. Dribble out his contract, buy some land up there, and retire into the sunset, or try to trade him to the Euro League or to China.
Bruh,
That would be an awesome move. Never seen that before.
You just took the words.
Negotiations with
China.
Trade James Harden.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. You were reading my mind. I was literally saying, and I was going to tell you to play the X-Files music, conspiracy theory. I was going to say James Harden is trying to get himself out of the NBA so he can go to China. Remember, he was over there in China with the shoe endorsement deals. That's where he was talking all that noise about Daryl Morey. He can go over to China in the Euro League and get paid the way that he wants to get paid. While he still has the ability to
say what the hell he wants.
He can go over there and average 60 points a game. They'll let him come over there and do all of that because he will definitely put butts in the stands over in China.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you read my mind, brother.
Keep doing your thing, James. Hey, that's why he know what he's doing. That's why James say, I'm the system. It's a system. Remember, Philly used to say, trust the process. James say, trust the system.
Remember
James
that.
Gonna get paid.
Remember that the
NBA
system was a one-hit wonder.
Which one?
I said, remember the group, the system, they were a one-hit wonder, just like James Harden.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so
Dorian, stand in the NBA, man. There's been some grimy stuff going on. Downright dirty basketball. These guys, like I said, the NBA is a garbage product to me, but hey. But I threw this out here. I was hoping the other guys were going to be available because I know they probably got a long, dirty list. But I know I got two that come to the top of my head just immediately and automatically. But before I throw my two up there, I want to see what comes to mind. And I'm saying current, so I don't want to think of, nobody talking about a Trail Sprewell or nothing like that. I'm talking about right now. Who out there being old 90s tough guy?
I don't know. I think the closest that you come to
I'll
it.
give you a minute. Think about it.
No, I think the closest that you really come to it where it's overt like that. Now, again, remember, I am to the manner born, to quote one of my favorite movies, The Young Guns. To the manner born, I am a Pistons fan. Detroit Bad Boys. So what nobody dirty like Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn.
Bad boys.
And them cats, they were
boys out
so when I think dirty, and then even going back to Jeff Rulin before Rick Mahorn, when he was in Washington, when they were called the Bullets before he got to Detroit, right? But anyway, so I don't see anybody overtly dirty like that because the NBA wanted to get rid of that. That's what David Stern was trying to do.
Y'all see what Dorian did.
The closest to that is Draymond. And I still think Dylan Brooks kind of gets a bad rap. I think he tries to play the bad role, but he's not really out there doing the kind of stuff that Draymond was doing. I used to take up for Draymond because I'm a Golden State Warriors fan. Well, I'm a Steph fan. So I used to try to take up for Draymond, but Draymond be doing some stuff sometimes that I'd be like, dude,
you lit out there.
So I don't know. I don't know if Chris Paul is dirty. I think he's sneaky.
Well, sneaky, dirty, whatever you want to call it. What is that lunch? What is that, Dorian? Come on, Dorian. Watch this again, Dorian. He looked up and saw himself. He lunged at him. Come on, Dorian. One more time. I had the actual slow-mo of this. I should have kept it. He looks up, sees it, and he launches himself. And Dorian. And people tried to call Matt Petgrave dirty. Come on, man. So he's my number one. Chris Paul is a dirty player. He's always been a sneaky dirty player. You call it sneaky dirty, okay? Because he gets away with it, like he got away with it right there. You saw him launch himself and dude throw the ball away like nothing went on. He was just going down hard at the ball, making a hard play. No. Somebody need to hit Chris Paul up for some of that State Farm money. Hit him up on file a claim against him. Whatever that was, knees he took out, man. I said, I would have fell down, I'm hurt. I'm filing a claim against State Farm, his Chris Paul commercials. Because he's the dirtiest player. If anybody needs insurance, it's Chris Paul. He's an accident waiting to happen. He either injured or he trying to injure somebody. It wasn't by coincidence that they went to Chris Paul to do insurance commercials with. He always injured or injuring somebody because he's dirty.
Now he'll get injured to playoff time.
Your guy over there, Dorian. Because I said Draymond is the other one. I was trying to find. I think you got it on your end. Well, yeah, there we go. And then you got he's number two.
Clay and McDaniels going out of here, and then all of a sudden Gobert comes in, and Draymond's like, no.
Yeah, it's chill out.
And then Draymond, he headlocked Gobert there, so
they're
trying to get Draymond off of Gobert. Okay. So Jaden McDaniel's been ejected. It was a lot, and then Draymond headlocking Rudy Gobert. I mean, just the way that they've adjudicated issues with Draymond in the past, it just doesn't surprise me. Draymond usually gets the raw end of the stick there.
Okay. Now, was that dirty?
That's UFC. That's so-called.
Okay, was that dirty or was that in a fight?
He dragged that man for like 10 feet.
Yeah, he did. But I'm saying, was that dirty or was that okay? I'm gonna choke you.
That was dirty.
Was that dirty or was that I'm about to choke you because you jumping on my boy? There's a difference.
Come on, man. They was breaking. I understand that, but he made it a point. He ran through there just to grab the biggest dude out there. Which at least he grabbed the biggest dude out there. That's
exactly.
Come on, Draymond. That's an MMA. UFC.
Okay.
He dragged him for 10 feet. Here's the point. This is supposed to be the NBA where you're not supposed to be able to touch nobody.
See, no, it's
Draymond
like
is 90s Detroit Pistons. He should have been a bad boy.
No. See, dirty is you going up for a layup and I clothesline you like they did Kurt Rambis. Dirty is, you going up for a layup and I come across your head and knock you down. That's dirty. That there was not an example of a Draymond dirty play. Draymond flailing his arms and kicking people in the nuts. That's a dirty play. That one was him being a tough guy protecting his teammate.
Hey, dude. Draymond could have ran up there. He could have ran up there and grabbed that guy from behind his waist, around his waist or something. He grabbed him with a choke. Man.
But then, because he been a tough guy.
Style. Come on, man. But hey, like I said, and he gets away with it. And ain't nobody called him on nothing either. Don't nobody want none of that Draymond smoke. Like I said, he's the son of one of the 90s bad boys, and he just don't know it. I mean,
they don't want to
get State.
He from Flint, right?
He don't know it.
Nobody wants to get Jordan Poole.
He's the son of somebody. Yeah, he just don't know it. Man, I mean, the water can't be that bad in Flint. That's a whole other story, man. Shout out to Flint. I got homies up there. But moving on from dirty fighting to some actual good fighting, D.
Shout out to Dirty. What up, Dirty?
And the boys to watch more of this. 37. Shout out to Dirty. Speaking of Dirty 7. Derek Mosby. That's our guy. Guy for a long time there. But UFC 295. I mess with boxing here once in a while. But this past weekend, oh my God, the main card was outstanding. And like I said, Petitti now holds 2 belts in the UFC now. But some of the headline and stuff, just to go through it quick, if y'all don't know, Dorian don't like blood and gore like that, y'all. So that's why he don't watch UFC.
Right.
But for me, nah, different story. But anyway, just a quick overview of what in the main card. Like I said, these were some of the final. It was all off rocker there. Let me get back to the main thing. First of all, everybody got knocked the frig out in the main card. It was 5 fights in the main card. And I mean, Dorian, when I say everybody got knocked out, I mean everybody got knocked out. Diego Lopez put them hands in the featherweight on Pat Sabatini, put them hands on him. But Benoit Saint Denis, the Frenchie, we'll come back to him. He put them feet on that boy, Frivola Mafrivola, a little knockout. And then Jessica Andrade was back. Remember during probably episode 16, we featured Jessica Andrade on here when she won her first championship in the strawweight. She since lost it, but she's still scrapping. And she fought little Mackenzie Dern, little sexy Mackenzie Dern. I know one thing. When Mackenzie Dern's done fighting, she definitely has a career in modeling or whatnot. She's definitely, I think, prettier and sexier than Ronda Rousey ever was. That's just a whole other story with me. And then with the big boys for the titles, Tom Aspinall beat the Russian guy, my comrade Sergey Babovich, in the heavyweight title fight. So Aspinall took another championship, the interim championship, back to England. And then, like I said, in the main event, the light heavyweight, Alex Pereira, he put them elbows on Jiri Prochazka. Yeah, he beat him with elbow smashes. But like I said, everybody got knocked the fuck out at UFC. But one of the best knockouts, Dorian, I think I got it on here. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe I don't. You got it on your END? If not, you got to go back and watch UFC 295. I thought that.
Which one did you put it on? I thought you.
Oh, I got it. There we go. I think I got it. This was I put it up right there. This was the best knockout. Let me replay that for y'all that missed it because it went that quick.
Nice knee to the body by Frivola.
But this is a grueling
Oh, it didn't show it.
I know that's weird.
That's crazy.
Nice knee to the
Let's
body
try
by
this.
Frivola.
Let's try that.
But this is a grueling.
There it is.
That's the one we was talking about. So yeah, so that of the main card 5 fights, that was the best knockout, and it's my best kind of knockouts by the foot to face.
Just
Yeah, he got
directing
knocked
your
the fuck out. So,
pizza.
yeah, that was UFC 295.
Directing your
Direct
pizza
your
to
pizza.
Daddy Green's Pizza.
Like I said, just hearing it live in that smack, man. Ooh, you didn't get knocked out by a punch, man. Somebody kicked you in your face and just knocked you out. So yeah, so that was UFC 295. So moving it on. So some of the other stuff that was funny this past weekend, Dorian, y'all remember I text y'all. It was early Sunday. You know, I'm out here in Arizona. This is real early. And I was like, I woke up to watch this BS. And that BS was well, not that game. We'll get back to that. But this was some BS too.
Speaking of the Patriots game.
Buffalo fired Ken Dorsey. Yeah, we'll get to that. But this was BS too. It was both BS. Ken Dorsey got the wrong end of the deal on this, man. I understand when the team is on a rough streak, you know, you want to ruffle some feathers or whatnot, like the Raiders did or whatever. I mean, hell, San Francisco, we lost 3 games in a row. We didn't go fire nobody. You know, you stick with it. But I thought this was a crazy move to fire the OC when he ain't the problem. As Rodney, I wish Rodney was here, as he would say, the problem is 13 seconds. Because that's where they seem to have their problems is with clock management, apparently. But that ain't even a problem, as Rodney would say. The real problem is, Dorian, which nobody wants to talk about, is Josh Allen. So this the same Ken Dorsey that I believe I ain't got it up here, but there we go. Just earlier in the season. What is Buffalo? 5-5, Dorian?
Yeah.
This was week 4, Dorian. Remember that game, Buffalo versus Miami? Just another day in the booth for Ken Dorsey.
Yeah. He was hot.
And they won that game, man. And they won that game. So you fired coach with that much passion for winning and losing. And when you saw him freak out right there, hell, it was probably because Josh Allen then just threw another interception. Who leads the league in interceptions the past, 4 or 5 years, Dab? You over there with the statistics? Our statistics guy?
Is it Josh? Is
Josh
it Josh
Allen?
I would have thought.
We do fantasy league. We all in fantasy league together. We should know who out there just costing people games. Oh, and by the way, speaking of our fantasy league, we got a link on our check out. Don't forget subscribe to our thing.
Josh Allen.
Link on our podcast as well. But Dorian just overtook first place in the East Division in the Pig Leather Pundits Fantasy Football League. So shout out to Dorian knocking out Rodney over there. Rodney started out like 5-0, y'all. He been mad.
He sure did. Now he lost like 5 in a row.
Have to face Dorian tonight, knowing that Dorian is now. And he got smashed. He got crushed, y'all, by a girl, but not just any girl. Shout out to Shay Shay. What up, Sasha? Chandler Sparkle Horse. She is not only she kicked his ass, she's kicking all our ass. I got to play her this week. I'm kind of nervous myself, Dorian. But that's a whole nother story on our fantasy football going on.
Yeah, we have to do a
Ken
whole
Dorsey getting fired, Dorian. I mean, I like I said, Josh Allen is the problem. What do you think about Buffalo?
So no, I agree with you, and I looked up the stats beforehand. his stats, Josh Allen's stats. And I just looked up what you just said about the most interceptions. So over the last 5 years, Josh Allen has thrown the most interceptions with 66. Now, the thing about Josh Allen this year is it's interesting because his completions percentage for the entire season is 70.3%. He's got 26 yards. He's got 19 touchdowns. His quarterback rating is 96.6. He's got 19 touchdowns, but he's thrown 11 interceptions. So that means his touchdown to interception ratio is less than 2-1. Right? Now, what's also interesting is if you look at Buffalo's stats, the last 6 games, Josh Allen has thrown at least one interception in the last 6 games. He just threw 2 the other day. So even though he's got a high quarterback rating, even though he's got a high
critical game.
Right. That was a critical game they lost. But even though he's got a high completion percentage, even though he's got a relatively high quarterback rating, he's still making bad mistakes. And he's making them at inopportune times. And he's costing them games, and he just cost Ken Dorsey his job.
Yep. Absolutely. And like I said, I still say it was unwarranted on my part, because now Buffalo, what do? Who are you going to promote to that position? Because you're still going to have the same problem with Josh Allen. What you going to do? Promote the quarterback coach to the offensive coordinator? That's somebody you never hear about anymore, guys. Quarterback coaches. Quarterback coaches never play in the NFL. But all the quarterback coaches are former clipboard holders from around the league that are still in the league, but they're now the quarterback coaches. But you never hear about them getting fired. So think about that. Ken Dorsey calls the plays from up in the booth, y'all. You know he cares about winning. Fire the quarterback coach. So, but speaking of caring about winning, while Dorian is looking up some of them stats on Josh Allen, mediocre. He's mediocre. He's turning into great white hype. I hate to say it, but he's turning into great white hype. Another Brett Favre out there. The Patriots way.
Brett Favre's a Hall of Famer.
Dorian's still looking up your guy. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Josh Allen ain't gonna be.
I was just trying to see. I was just trying to see if the new play caller, Joe Brady, if he was actually the quarterback coach. That's all. So you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. That'd have been an interesting correlation there to see.
Yeah.
But I know one thing. Going back to like mentioning this past Sunday when I text all y'all, like I woke up to watch this bullshit that was over in Frankfurt, Germany. And that was the Patriots playing who's they playing? Indianapolis, I want to say. And this was the most interesting thing that happened in that game. Back. Can I control that? Oh, I can. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Jordan, I don't think you saw that title, right? Like right.
Billy goes ballistic.
He went absolutely freaking ballistic in Frankfurt, Germany. I mean, why didn't they arrest him? That was verbal assault. I mean, you can't talk to nobody like that in public. But yeah, it's some bad blood brewing. But yeah, here again, here's the what happened. But was it interesting, Dorian? Watch Bill Belichick just sitting there like Bill Belichick is the grandfather, Bill O'Brien is the father, and Mac Jones is the son. It's like he just let him sit there and scold him. This is hilarious, man.
Bill like
no. He's just chilling. Yeah. And this was running the time. This suck too. Fuck you. Go. So if anybody should have got fired, Dorian, Ken Dorsey for trying to win, or Bill O'Brien for that outburst and everything that was going on there. Yeah, you know, you got a horrible quarterback situation. And what was even worse about that, remember in that game, the Patriots actually benched Mac Jones and brought in Bailey Zappi to come save the day.
Yeah, right.
And he came in with a fake spike and proceeded to throw a pick. You could have let Mac Jones do that. Bill O'Brien didn't go cuss out Bailey Zappi at the end of the game, or maybe that's who he was cussing out on the way into the tunnel. You too. You suck too. Just like Mac Jones. Hey, but like I said, Bill Belichick, that's why I picked up sitting there like, yeah, get your son. Yeah. All you fools gonna be gone next year. That's how Bill was. Ain't none of y'all gonna be around. Hell, I might retire next year. I think Bill's time is up in New England, first and foremost, my guy. So that was one of the funniest things I saw during it was that, other than, that game was terrible, absolutely terrible. But hey, on a good note, we finishing up on a good timing tonight, y'all. And again,
well, wait a minute. So hold on, just
sorry, go ahead, though.
So yeah, Joe Brady was the quarterback's coach.
I ain't doing nothing. I want to hear this.
No, as I say, Joe Brady, he was the quarterback's coach.
See, you just promoted the guy. See what I'm saying? I know quarterback. That's all I do is quarterback. I told you. You never hear about that guy, but that guy sneaks into a job. Who is Joe Brady? Who is that Tom's illegitimate son? Where has he ever played quarterback? Why have we never heard of him for him to be a quarterback coach? To be a quarterback coach, you had better at least been a quarterback. I'm saying I'll be all over quarterbacks in the NFL, the whole history of this and that, what it is and all that. That's why I always ask you boys, I tell y'all every week, you better know who's your backup, because the quarterbacks in the NFL are absolutely garbage. After 5 quarterbacks, the rest are garbage. I'm gonna put up the scale next week for y'all to show y'all the actual scale that I use to rate quarterbacks, and it's actually pretty right on schedule. Yeah, he's looking up to see what Joe Brady's career is to be the new offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills.
He started off
hilarious. But meanwhile, while he's doing that,
well, what I got here really quickly.
Don't forget.
So from BuffaloBills.com,
we got to get them people to subscribe.
From BuffaloBills.com,
okay,
it says quarterbacks coach Joe Brady, who is in his second year in Buffalo, will take over as the interim offensive coordinator. He began his coaching career at William & Mary as a linebackers coach and was the passing game coordinator and wide receivers coach at LSU during their 2019 national championship run. So he was there with Joe Cool and Jamar Chase and them boys.
So he knew Joe. So he knew Joe Burrow. So just because you was there with Joe Cool, that qualifies you to be a quarterback's coach, and he was on the defense. You see my point? So this goes back to, remember our earlier shows, Dorian, the Good Old Boy Network. Remember the Good Old Boy tree? We're gonna have to bring that back. You see what I'm saying? William and Mary. What?
Well, it's
I
also
know Joe Burrow. So now I'm the offensive coordinator of the Bills.
And Buffalo is eighth in the league. Is eighth in the league in scoring.
Allen. And the problem is they have a guy that Josh Allen ain't going to listen to. That's what I'm saying. So they should have never fired Ken Dorsey.
Right. No. Right. Right.
He
to your point.
He has good offense. It's just Josh Allen with the inopportune time interceptions. That's why they're 5. Well, not really 5-5 because they actually got blew out in a couple games, but that's the problem. And they've been inconsistent since they drafted Josh Allen. He's been that gunslinger, but you're seeing what he is. He's what we thought he was. That's the point I got. Staley out in San Diego. Shout out to my boy Ken Ladden. San Diego.
He does some dumb stuff, man.
San Diego and everything. But speaking of coaches, on the side, their head coach is a defensive-minded coach, and they can't stop you. They can't stop anybody. The offense can score, but he's a defensive-minded head coach, and they can't stop him. That's another coach with a great squad that can't do anything with his talent that should actually be fired. That's who should be fired. Their offensive coordinator is doing just fine. But see, then they're going to reshuffle and recycle them and all this. So, yeah, I can see Ken Dorsey getting the San Diego job when they fire that Yahoo out there that's causing San Diego and me potential losses because Justin Herbert has been mediocre. Just like
not in fantasy.
Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville have been mediocre. This is like the third. Yes, they have. Don't believe me, I have both of them. And Justin Herbert is hit or miss. Just a week ago, he got me a -4. This week, he went off. He got me 36, right. But then this week, Trevor Lawrence got me the -4. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fabio is definitely
like that. They have not lived up to the potential. And Josh Allen fits that mold. He just gets. So, you know, I follow these quarterbacks out here. So,
look, Justin Herbert been doing has done me well in
some
two of my
that should be
leagues.
fired.
But
I don't know how, man. I don't. I really don't. But finish it off. This is Dorian.
We got the
modern, and you know we love it. I love it. We've been promoting it. All playoff home. 6-1-8 high school playoff football. We're getting down to the semifinals. Dab is coming up. See, November 25th. We get into that Thanksgiving weekend, which you already know about. Here it is. You see it, Dorian. That's what's left, y'all. You see all the X's gone. Altoff lost this week. I'm actually very happy for that. I told you they be playing scrubs anyway. They look like they ran into some big country kids, I guess. Camp Point, never heard of it. Unfortunately, Breeze lost this quarterfinal game, so bye-bye Breeze in their game. And, of course, everybody else. And then Edwardsville, so bye-bye 8A schools. Edwardsville got beat by Elmhurst York this week. So you see what's standing. Southwest Conference, 8 straight Southwest Conference championships. The East St. Louis Flyers are the last man standing from the 6-1-8 in the place. Washington, so they down to the Final Four in football. Dorian, real quick before I start, how is it that high school football can have a 32-team playoff and get it right? But we can in college, everything else they can't get it right. But real quick salute to these young men right here. Just announced Robert Pop's battle quarterback for your East St. Louis Flyers. You got Leon Trail, Smiley Bradford there. First team All-State. And then little Jesse Watson got the honorable mention. So congratulations to these guys. Good luck this weekend. And of course,
East Side.
You need somewhere to try to find that game. Support Black businesses. Mr. Duncan Alameda. You can find it right there on the City of Champions YouTube channel, y'all. So shout out. Good luck to him. 2 more to go, Dorian, and Eastside gonna have some history. We're gonna talk about that in some upcoming shows. We potentially gonna have a great guest if everything goes well. But other than that, Dabner, we dynamic dude tonight, bro. That wasn't bad.
We did. We
did some stuff.
We like Bill. We like Bill Withers and Grover Washington Jr. Just the two of us.
Just two, just roll with
just the two of us.
Y'all, we appreciate y'all subscribe, follow us, get at us. Matter of fact, send some comments. Let us know what y'all think about the show, what we're doing wrong, what we can do right. We like to interact. Hell, we had a phone line on here. We take calls in to see what y'all talk about. That really gets
more than anything. Subscribe.
But other than that,
button,
as we always end the show, please, we're trying to get it right. I was hoping Dorian was gonna find our thing, but
No,
if
I
you
got
a
it.
problem with what we said, we don't care.
And we out.
And we out. All right, in recording.
Where the theme music?